Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's a real pleasure to have you with us today in today's masterclass that has been organized in collaboration with Autodesk and the Autodesk Young Professionals Network. AI and BIM for Sustainable Material Creation with Dynamo. Along with my co-moderator, Beatriz Medola, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. In this session, oops. In this session, we will start with a few words about ZIGURAT and the Young Professional Network by Autodesk. And right after, Jordana de Castro Rosa, graduate of ZIGURAT Institute and BIM Manager at WSP, will present us with EcoMatic, the award-winning solution from the Dynamo Hackathon at Autodesk University 2024. This solution explores how AI enhances sustainable material selection in BIM workflows. Also, today we have with us Hatem Dawoud, Territory Sales Representative at Autodesk, who will present highlights from the Design and Make Report 2025, outlining how sustainability is reshaping the client priorities and driving innovation across the built environment. Finally, I from ZIGURAT will present you with the ZIGURAT corporate services and the portfolio of ZIGURAT that helps businesses and professionals in the AEC industry to create a virtuous circle inside their structures and shape a corporate culture promoting excellence. My name is Dimitrios Revanas. I'm the corporate manager of the international team at ZIGURAT, and I'm thrilled to be your host for today. For those who would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, feel free to scan the QR code that you can see on the screen so we can have a discussion later. Just for you to know, I'm actually an urban planning engineer specialized in urban regeneration development, smart city, GIS, BIM, project management, and digital transformation. Now, before we get started, for those of you who might be new to us, ZIGURAT is a global online educational institute with over 20 years of experience in e-learning. We offer master's and postgraduate programs in architecture, engineering, and technology management, supporting professionals from around the world in advancing their careers. We're proud of our diverse and vibrant community with more than 20,000 students from over 120 countries. Also, ZIGURAT has been an authorized training center by Autodesk for at least the last decade and has gained several awards, recognitions, accreditations all along the way. Currently, we have around 20 graduates from Autodesk, basically, that have studied in our school. Now, before I pass the words to Beatriz from Autodesk, who will present you with the Autodesk's Young Professional Network, let's make today's session a little bit more interactive. Please join us in the chat and drop where are you joining us from. Let's build a dynamic and engaging experience together. Okay, Beatriz, you're on.
I'm excited to see how many people we have here and where they are joining from. Okay, I see Italy, Montreal, Madrid, oh my God, Houston, so we are all over. Very nice. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Beatriz Medola. I am the YPN Barcelona site lead, and we are very happy to be collaborating with ZIGURAT today. Let me talk about a bit of my background. I am an AEC Senior Product Support Representative at Autodesk. I've been working in the company for almost 4 years now, and I have more than 9 years experience as an architect. So my background is in architecture and urbanism, and I have studied as well a master's degree in advanced construction, focusing in sustainability. So I'm super excited for the session today with Jordana and Hatem. And right now I'm pursuing an executive MBA in business, so always trying to learn and be aware of new things. My contact is also here, Beatriz Medola at LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out and add me on LinkedIn if you need any more help. I'll talk about a bit of YPN now. So YPN is the Young Professionals Network. So this is a UBG in Autodesk for Autodesk employees. And our mission is basically to enable early and mid-career professionals to become future Autodesk leaders in their field or as managers, directors, anything you want to pursue. And we want to provide you opportunities of professional development, mainly providing mentorship, coaching, safe spaces for networking, getting to know people that can help you and collaborate with you to grow. So one of the main things we are fostering this year is actually upskilling in software and in AI. So we are super excited for today because I think it's super aligned with what YPN wants for our network. So also, if you have any ideas of what you want or something, and you are at Autodesk, you can reach out to me and we're happy to make it work as we're doing right now with ZIGURAT. So last thing, if you're not yet a YPN member, you can always join just by going to our SharePoint. You put join YPN. This is going to forward you to Workday. And you just put your employee number and say that you want to be an Autodesk and Professional Network member. This will add you to our lists and you're going to receive all communications. Many of you already are in YPN here. But if you know anyone who would like to get more involved or more engaged, feel free to reach out to me on Teams and I'll be happy to help. Back to you, Dimitrios.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. Indeed, I have to confirm that Autodesk Young Professionals Network is offering a lot of opportunities to young professionals that are entering the industry now. We had the chance to have like a little talk last week where we met in the Digital Construction Week in London. And I totally believe that that's a great opportunity for anyone who is coming in the industry now. They're searching for opportunities, networking. It will help you greatly. So make sure you follow Beatrice's advice. So now I'm honored to introduce our first speaker for today, Jordana Castro Rosa, a graduate of ZIGURAT Institute and BIM Manager at WSP, will present EcoMatic, the award-winning solution from the Dynamo Hackathon at University 2024, this is a solution that actually explores how AI enhances the sustainable material selection in BIM workflows. Just a quick note before we begin. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat because we're going to discuss them later on after all presenters have finished with their presentations. So thank you in advance for that. Jordana, I'm going to stop sharing now, so feel free to start sharing.
Hi. Thank you, ZIGURAT, for inviting me. Thanks to the Young Professionals Network. This is incredible. I really struggled to think what I could bring that would be very unique and innovative for this audience. And I'm excited to hear from you at the end. What do you think? And also have participation in sharing ideas, how we can keep improving and pushing AI in the AEC. So as Dimitri said, I'm a BIM manager at WSP. I'm specializing in AI services and products by MIT, and I am an alumni with ZIGURAT for BIM management. I recently joined WSP, which is this giant company with 74,000 consultants, engineers, architects across the world. And this is a summary of my path so far. And since we are here with young designers, I will be sharing how I got to this point, what led one thing to another. So I'm a civil engineer. I also studied architecture and urbanism for 3 years, never finished. Then I jumped to my BIM management master's degree with ZIGURAT, and then the AI specialization after getting some work done with AI, especially during hackathons. In terms of typology, I work with. The only thing I'm missing, I think, is airport, many countries, many disciplines. So that gave me a broad understanding of the industry. Not that I'm not the best, far away from being the best in any of these things, but I got to experience a little bit of each one of those. I joined WSP in the mission critical team. So we are always leading with projects, MEP projects for data centers across US. And I had to make make use of my Google AI because I paid. So this is just a video from Google AI. And let's start. Building AI-powered tools in the AEC. As I said, I felt that showing the path, what led us, and what were the challenges that we got during these creations would be more interesting to this audience. So I will tell you how we started and how it ended and what's the future. So everything started, EcoMatic is our focus today, but I will tell where the idea came from. About 2 years ago, during my time at Perkins and Will, which is an architecture company, we started implementing AI for visualization, creating images, and I decided to implement it in a competition because we didn't have enough time. So we came with these images, and at the time, we were using Stable Diffusion with Comfy UI to generate these AI rendered images. And this is what we were talking about 2 years ago. So if you well remember, everybody remember this video from Will Smith eating pasta. So AI was not good for images yet. So we had to do some workaround. We had lots of post-production in Photoshop, but the experience was good. And we proved that definitely we could implement AI in the architectural workflow. We were winners. We went to the finals in this competition. But when we really worked with AI in our typical workflow in architecture, we noticed that we would have a big problem in implementing AI with images from AI into their architectural projects. The reason is we changed the currently workflow. Typically, the architects will start with pre-designed and they go to the detailing in Revit, for example, and then they start the renders. They start the humanization and the visuals, the realistic visuals of these images. When we brought AI, we flipped. We started with the final image. We started with the realistic, perfect image that you can present to your clients. But so these images are like PDFs. You can take these images for construction. They don't have information. They don't have what you need to take this thing for construction. And when we talk about BIM, we need to remember that we are creating design for construction. So it doesn't matter if you have cool, beautiful things if you can't build these things. So the reality is in this competition that we were, after having the realistic image, we had to create these geometries, these materials that the AI suggested us in the model, in Revit. And for that, we would have to go in Google and search for the chair that looked like the one that the AI suggested us, the wood that looked like what AI suggested us. And at the end, it was taking even more time than our traditional workflow. So I kept this in mind and I was like, how can we solve that? How can we automate at least this search on Google? Like we need to find a chair. How can I make it clever? So we came with the idea of AI to Speckle, which was a winner in a hackathon about 2 years ago. Yeah. And the basic workflow was we start with a basic model in the 3D authoring tool, such as Revit. We send it to our, oh, we're missing a video here. Yeah, we're missing a video here. Sorry for that. We send it to our AI render, which at the time we were using Stable Diffusion with Comfy UI, but nowadays even ChatGPT can do this work for you. And then we go to the second AI, which is the AI segmentation, basically the AI understanding what's going on in this image, understanding what's ceiling, what's wall, what's floor, and then the similarity. For this hackathon, we only did similarity for materials because that was the database that we had access at the time. Similarities, basically you have a database and the AI will look through all these materials and find what's similar and give you a score of how close it is to what you have as an input. And then we have the automation, which basically we download this material and make it available for the user. This is what we had. We had a space for the user to describe the scene, such as a living room with modern style, brick walls, wooden floor. And in the side, you have the materials that the user can download and apply to the view. This is what we presented at the end of the hackathon. So you give a prompt. Here, let me see if I can read for you. Modern living room with brick wall. You hit render, when you hit render, the AI will start playing with the Gen AI to generate the images. You can render multiple times, so these images are generated very fast. And if you're happy with the results, good. If not, you can reprompt. So you create a new image. When you are, just a second, somebody send me a message. If you are happy with the results, our similarity process starts to run to find the materials that were in the rendered image. In the side, you have all the materials that our automation downloaded for you, and you can apply. But here is when we find the problem, and we are good finding problems, and even better fixing problems. When you apply this material, the brick wall didn't came. You only can see the brown wall, like no textures. So this led us to create EcoMatic in the future. And I want you to memorize this well. Memorize it for a few minutes and you're going to understand why. So as I said, we had here the similarity process running, but we also could replace the similarity with Gen AI. Instead of finding a similar element, you can create this element. And even ChatGPT does that today. And the good part of the Gen AI here, generating the images with AI, is because the similarity, this AI created image will be probably the exactly one as the input, will be very close. And the similarity is not guaranteed that we're going to have a 100% similarity. Probably it's going to be close, but not accurate enough. But, and the same process we want to do with 3D, but we didn't have access to the library yet. When we showed this for the industry, some companies, some large 3D libraries came to offer collaboration with us. And the reason why they were so interested is because it would increase their sales. So whenever you have a 3D library, probably there is a fabricator trying to sell their furniture, trying to sell their products in this library. So if our AI suggests their furniture, they're going to sell this furniture at the end. But the other option is AI creating the 3D. And this is basically the quality of the generation of 3D that you can have today. You just give an image and the 3D will be generated with this precision, which is incredible. And when we first developed the tool, we were far away to get this quality. But nowadays, it's just impressive. Where you can find this image to 3D. You have Bernini, which is a project from Autodesk. I believe it's still in research, but basically has this idea of you give the image and you collect the 3D. So that was announced at Autodesk University last year. But you also have other options. The first one that I saw about like maybe 3 years ago was at Google Research. And during Autodesk University, I also could experience the Get 3D with NVIDIA. But this image that you see here, this spinning one, I use Triple, which is very popular for the gaming industry. This is our incredible team for AI to Speckle. Fantastic people. We never met each other in person. We developed this project, everything online, everything fast. We were super glad with the results. Incredible folks. Going back to this wall, this was our nightmare. When we went through to understand why the texture didn't came through and why it would not flow from one solution to another, such as I'm using 2 different software, I'm trying to send this from this tool to another, the wall would not come through with the texture. And we went through to understand why, and the developers said, most of the solutions in the AEC, they use different material schemes. And when they create connectors, they don't necessarily create for the material scheme. So typically, whenever you send information from one solution to another, everything will come through, all the parameters, all the descriptions, all the geometries, but not the textures. And that explains a lot. That explains why IFC doesn't come with textures. That explains why Workshop XR maybe does not show their textures. Why many AR solutions are not showing textures, only the geometry. And we were like, oh, how can we solve that? And definitely the developers could solve for us, but it's not the priority. It was not their priority. So that gave the original idea for EcoMatic, which originally was just an idea to solve the problem with the textures that were not flowing from one solution to another. But as we were already creating data for our Revit models with Dynamo, why not bringing other kind of data, such as carbon, embodied carbon? And because it turned to be a sustainability tool, we brought the sustainability as the main point of EcoMatic. And the problem turned to be the carbon in the industry, the emission of embodied carbon, which 40% is coming from the AEC industry. And from this 40%, 11% is embodied in the materials. Big problem, big statement. So EcoMatic has three pillars. The first one, sustainability. We want to cut carbon that is embodied in the materials. We want to be efficient because we don't want our designers spending hours searching for textures or images or 3D elements in Google or whatever is the website. And the third point here is interoperability, because we are solving this problem of transferring content from one platform to another and losing the textures in this transition. The time we're using Stable Diffusion, but again, even ChatGPT can do that today. And for the carbon data, we were connecting with 25th Materials, which is a platform that offers embodied carbon information about the materials. And they're very strong in Europe. The integration, we had the AI generating the image, 25th Materials providing the carbon, and the automation being done with Dynamo for Revit. And also our second goal would be 3D, civil 3D. This is what we presented in the hackathon. And just to give you some idea, we spent 6 hours to get it done, a team of 3 people. So it was a success, and we started seeing this project as an influence for the industry, saying that sustainability does not need to be hard. Sustainability does not need to be for a selected group of sustainable designers or sustainable consultants. And in the reality, most of the companies, and I say that because I work in an architectural company and I work nowadays at WSP, there are not many sustainable, dedicated people in the company. So whatever we can make to make sustainability more accessible, better. So basically we use a Dynamo player, you give the prompt, describe your texture, and the material is created already with the embodied carbon data embedded in the parameters. Here, if you can't read because it's small, the prompt was plastic high reflect blue bumps texture. And this is our Dynamo script. We had parts. The first part was the Stable Diffusion, connecting, could be ChatGPT as well, connecting with your AI to provide the texture that was created for the material. The second box where you have the connection with 2050 materials, collecting the embodied carbon data. And then we have the box, the orange box, with the integration, creating the parameters with the texture and the carbon data, and then sending it to the automation of the creation in Revit. This is our incredible team. Again, we met each other literally during the hackathon. And we had Enric, who's a genius. He was helping with the Dynamo script. And we have Eamon, which was helping with whatever he could. And we had only 6 hours. Was an incredible project, and at the end, this project turned to be a big influence for the industry, because we proved that was fast, was AI powered, and was easy for the user. The second step here was we don't want the user to provide the data manually for each element in the project. If we can do the entire project all at once, we want. And we realized that architects typically they already create an Excel sheet describing all the materials that they use in the project. So they already have the descriptions that we can send. Sorry, my voice. That we can send to ChatGPT or Stable Diffusion, and this is the input. So we can automatically create thousands of materials and already automate the carbon for all these materials all at once. So you know you are out and Autodesk, but I will tell you the experience working with architects and engineers. Most of the architects and engineers, they're not comfortable using Dynamo, and we can't judge because it's really it has a learning curve. So the second step here after the hackathon, we decided to take away the Dynamo script and transfer all this workflow to a Revit plugin. And that led to the creation of EcoCraft. EcoCraft is a Dynamo plugin, and the decisions that we took with EcoCraft is based on the user, what would make the life easier, and also what was our priority here with the tool. So EcoCraft is basically our connection, is our plugin that connects the project, the Revit project, with 2050 materials data. And the workflow is very easy for the user. Basically select the elements, confirm the graphic user interface. No, I'm missing words. The experience for the user was very easy. We try to summarize whatever they would need to click or to look. And basically here we give the option to link with 2050 materials so the user, the designer can check more information about this element in 2050 platform. Whenever the user is happy with the results, they can select the material and hit add carbon factor, and automatically this carbon information about this specific element will be added to the project. Very easy, very fast, and once applied to one family type, all the other elements in the project will carry this information. So the difference here is because we got to the point where we can be more specific about the materials, not take just volumes in consideration, but allowing the designer to compare materials, such as there's not only one type of concrete available for the designer, they can compare different concretes, and that will improve and give more precise embodied carbon information for a project. And as you can imagine, we like to always input AI in the workflow. Here you don't have the AI generating the texture for you, but we do use AI in not an obvious way, but you well know most of our projects, they don't contain very good data. And because we're humans, we always gonna have some typos, some not standardized data, and that's a problem when we want to fetch data from a connector. And that is our biggest problem with EcoCraft. So to try to solve this issue, we use ChatGPT to translate, to improve the input that we are sending to 2050 materials when we fetch the data. And by using ChatGPT to optimize our descriptions, our information, the results came way better than just using regular keywords to search results. And that's how we made this tool AI powered. If you want to learn more about EcoCraft, just go to the website. If you want a demo, we can definitely provide demos. And what's next? And how is my time here?
You're good, Jordana. We have another 2 minutes.
Oh, perfect. It was right on time. Okay, so as I said, working with AI and creating AI solutions in the industry, I got to learn a lot, and especially creating solutions for the industry, not necessarily AI powered, taught me a lot that today is very easy to create solutions. It's very fast, but the implementation is the tough part. And I was just speaking with Pharma last week, and I was like, Pharma was so easy to implement. And I was thinking, why was it so easy to implement? I was like, it was not because it's just incredible, powerful, but the real implementation happened because, at least at Parkinson Wheel, because my users had an issue. And the real problem that they had is that they couldn't access ArcGIS. They would come to me and say, how can I access ArcGIS? I need to create some environments and map it. And I would say, sorry, I can't provide you the license, but I can show you Forma. And that was this small problem that led to a very successful implementation of Forma. Not because we had many trainees, not because we showed that Forma is incredible, but because they couldn't complete their work. And the solution for get the work done was Forma. So I have been thinking that a lot, and everybody, especially people that were creating solutions there, I was like, find the problem, but it needs to be a very specific problem because, for example, aircraft has a big statement. It's the carbon, embodied carbon in the world, saving the world. But now we are trying to understand what's the small problem that my designers have that does not allow them to complete their tasks. That's what makes an implementation successful. So at this moment with EcoCraft, we're like trying to understand what's the pain of our users. And I hope it helped you in your trajectory, and I'm finished.
Thank you very much, Jordana. It was very interesting, in my opinion. I really loved the technicalities of the solution itself, but above all, I really loved the way you and your team like work together. How you identified the problem, how you analyzed it, how you performed the analysis, and in the end, how you collaborated so you can develop the solution you presented to us. Very interesting. Well done. Congratulations to the whole team. And now I'm honored to introduce our second speaker for today, Hatem Dawoud, who is the territory sales. Sorry, let me just put my slide back again. Yeah. Okay. So Hatem Dawoud, the territory sales representative at Autodesk, who will present highlights from the Design and Make Report 2025, outlining how sustainability is reshaping client priorities and driving innovation across the built environment. Just as a reminder again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will read and discuss, of course, all of them after all the speakers finish with their presentations. Thank you, Hatem. And the floor, Mike, is yours.
Thank you, Dimitris, and thank you, Jordana, for the incredible demo. This demo shows that this is not just an innovation, this is where the industry is heading. This is where our industry is going and where the companies and the business leader are achieving. What I'm gonna try to do today is to shed some lights on why solutions like EcoMatic are really important for decision makers and why this solution can resonate with business leaders. So first of all, my name is Hatem Dawoud. I'm a territory sales representative. I'm based in Amman, Jordan. And I'm gonna start by quickly defining the concept of sustainability. So sustainability is about meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of a future generation to meet their own needs, which means in a practice that we need to create new systems, whether in business, in design, and construction, to make our daily life and to make the decision that we are having more economically viable for the long term other than the short term. So I will start by sharing some interesting insight from the State of Design and Make report, the 2025 version, which is a report that Autodesk releases for the third year on row right now. And I think all of you have heard about the Design and Make report. It is a report that Autodesk surveys business leaders to take their perspective on the industry, on the challenges, and on the new trends. And the first insight that I wanna focus on is this one. So when business leaders were asked what is the number one priority or the number one challenge, cost was in the number one, which is somehow reasonable because always cost in the center of any organization, especially when the situation or the economic situation is uncertain or there is some uncertainty in the business environment. So in this way, a cost can be very important. And since sustainability is about achieving our goals with less, it comes as something that can help the cost issues. Now, sustainability opens the door for the conversation, and the cost somehow explains the next insight that I want to show, which is we always thought about sustainability as something that comes as a regulation or as a compliance. But recently, organizations started to implement sustainability internally, and the reliance on external factors becomes less and less. So now, when business leaders were asked about how customers, how employees, and how investors are affecting your decision to implement sustainability measures, year over year, these factors are becoming less, and it becomes more of an internal decision than an external decision. Why? Because organizations have started to realize the benefit that they can get from implementing sustainability measures. And to achieve these sustainability goals that the organization have, they started to implement new ways, new innovative ways, some things like the EcoMatic tools, and that was presented when business leaders were asked, what is the top contributor, or what is the top technologies that you are using to implement sustainability? And AI, for the second year in a row, was ranked as a number one for number one enabler for sustainability for organizations. So organizations currently are relying more and more on AI to achieve their sustainability goals. Why? Because it makes it faster, cheaper, and it's make it measurable. And another interesting insight that 72% of business leaders believe that sustainability measures can increase their revenue, which translate on the cost priority and why organizations are shifting toward sustainability. Another interesting fact that not only sustainability is important, also digital maturity is related to the amount of, let's say, benefit that a company or an organization can have when they implement sustainability. So, for example, a more digitally mature company or organization can expect more benefits when they implement sustainability. So where our roles comes in, or where we are as Autodesk can fit in this equation? We can fit by answering the main priorities for business leader and translate them into ways that they can achieve or overcome the challenges they have. So business leaders care about risk reduction, they care about operational efficiency, they care about cost saving. And sustainability can be a solution for all of these challenges. So sustainability right now is not just a buzzword, it can be a door opener for us to open conversation with business leader and to implement new solutions for them to achieve their goals. In our industry, in the AEC industry, the main opportunities we have comes in net zero energy building, zero waste construction, for example, sustainable infrastructure, and smart cities. And in each of these sectors or trend, Autodesk can play a big part. And I'm going to show you some example of how companies or customers have achieved great values through Autodesk's different platforms and solutions to achieve a better sustainability outcomes. For example, The US Department of Defense were able to reduce the time for energy audits by 90% using Revit. And DBS were able to achieve 48% energy saving through AEC collection and insight. Also, the architectural firm MBBG were able to also achieve a 70% energy reduction in their in one of their projects. And when it comes to construction, Autodesk with the AEC collection and the Autodesk Construction Cloud can help you reduce waste and reduce the amount of rework with adding more quality and increasing the efficiency of the projects. All of this contributes to any company's sustainability goals. For example, BLOX were able to double their efficiency and quality, speed, and value, and another company, Dura Vermeer, were able to reduce or to achieve 25% faster and 5% less waste and rework. And finally, other customers were able to help communities and enhance communities by creating innovative solutions like the UNCHR, which helped to relocate 34,000 refugees away from flood using a solution like InfraWorks. And Build Change were able to retrofit earthquake-sensitive homes 95% faster. And finally, low-income housing was able to were 40% faster and 20% cheaper and 70% less waste. So all of this was able to be achieved through the implementation of the company's goal, connecting it to the sustainability goal by focusing on the value and implementing the solutions that can achieve these goals. And here I can say, whether you are designing or selling, you are part of the conversation, of the sustainability conversation. Thank you. I think I was on time.
Thank you very much, Hatem. Indeed, you were inside the time frame. Thank you very much. Valuable inputs regarding the industry, valuable inputs regarding the solutions offered by Autodesk tools. And once again, you have confirmed why Autodesk actually is one of the leaders in the industry, providing us with the best tools to work with. So let me share my presentation back. And okay, now we can continue with my part of presentation. So let's now shift the focus on how ZIGURAT supports both individuals as well as entire organizations through the corporate services that we're offering. As the industry evolves, companies need more than just tools. They need teams that are agile, skilled, and future ready. And that's where we come in. So please make sure that you scan the QR code and put your information in the form by selecting the subject that you would like to be informed about between BIM management, AI and architecture, smart city, digital transformation. This form is so I can contact you after this event. I can answer any kind of questions you may have or to provide you with additional information. Now, corporate dilemma. Many companies today face a common dilemma: how to stay competitive while keeping teams aligned, engaged, and up to date with rapidly changing technologies. Our corporate training helps address that. It improves employee performance, encourages innovation, and forces consistency across the different departments that could exist inside a company, while also reducing turnover and enhancing your brand reputation. So, for us, there is no such thing as a corporate dilemma. The question is simple: invest in your people, and they will stay, they will grow, and they will lead. If you think training is expensive, wait until you see the cost of unprepared teams. Companies that fail to invest in continuous learning won't just fall behind, they will eventually disappear from the map of the industry. The future belongs to the organizations that prioritize talent, innovation, and lifelong learning. So, how companies can benefit from training? The results speak for themselves. The companies invest in meaningful training. They see stronger overall performance, more confident leadership, increased team motivation, and sharper competitive edge. ZIGURAT training doesn't just transfer knowledge, it creates a lasting transformation. At ZIGURAT, we offer a 360 training ecosystem tailored to your company's needs, from fundamental to advanced levels in the training area, professional development through the talent services with global networking, talent acquisition, corporate branding, global visibility through the networking and branding, strategic recruitment through our alumni and talent hubs, and knowledge sharing through the exclusive content and events that we create in the promotion area of our services. All this is backed up by a global presence of over 100 successful partnerships that we have accomplished until now. Our reach is global with local relevance, of course. We have active hubs in Barcelona, Madrid, Middle East, London, and Sao Paulo, and we serve professionals and businesses in more than 120 countries. This international perspective helps us better understand the local markets while delivering global standards. Now, ZIGURAT experience is rooted in delivering an exceptional learning experience. It's not just about taking a course, it's about engaging with the faculty who are leaders in the field, solving real-world problems, real case scenario problems, and growing within a dynamic learning community. We create environments where knowledge sticks and drives action. And now, a few words about our portfolio. Our portfolio consists of postgraduate courses, which are short 4-month specialization courses. The ones that are available now in the English language are focusing in parametric design with visual programming in BIM, sustainable architecture and construction, as well as lean construction management. You're welcome to scan the code if you would like to receive some more information about them. And then we have the main product of ZIGURAT, which is the master's programs. Here we have a thematic, which is a little bit bigger than the postgraduates. We have the master's programs in BIM management, the master's in global BIM management, and global BIM management in civil engineering and GIS. These two, actually, the main difference between them is that in the first one, we're focusing on building projects, while in the second one, it's more oriented towards the civil engineering profile, and we're working on infrastructure type of projects. In both of them, we use the Autodesk tools, and these actually have been a few of the best training programs around BIM management in the world. We have also another master program, which is focusing on smart city management. Smart city is a new concept. So in this program, we actually explore how we can work with smart city, both in the strategic level, as well as in the smart city application management. We have an MBA, which is a little bit different than what exists in the industry already. This MBA is actually focusing on the concept of digital transformation, how we can transform an existing business that still uses the traditional tools to actually adopt the digital tools and methodologies and transform every single department or operation that could exist inside its structure. And our latest addition in our portfolio has been the Masters in Artificial Intelligence for Architecture and Construction. This actually is going to run for the first time this year. It was created between 25, 24. It's going to start by the end of October, in the 1st of November, 2025. It's 1 year, 100% online. in the English language and with double degree. So you receive both academic accreditation from the University of Barcelona, IL3, as well as the master certification from ZIGURAT. In this program, we actually have followed the candidate that is going to participate in this program is actually going to follow a journey through computational logic. They will be learning about the AI fundamentals applied to the AC sector. They will be exploring the key areas of AI applied to AC. So here they will be able to see also how they can produce solutions like Jordana explained before in her presentation. They will be learning how they can apply AI solutions in all the different BIM uses that exist inside the construction life cycle, and we reach until the level of disruptive technologies, from buildings to smart cities. How we can reach with AI to actually plan and design the future smart cities of our world. Again, if you would like to know more, you can scan this QR code and we will send you some information about that. Our director in this program, Ms. Lillian Ho from AECO in UK, is actually going to provide the latest input, the latest know-how that exists in the industry. She is a director in digital and BIM leader in AECO, as well as member of the Women in AI and the Women in BIM organizations. And we're very, very glad to have you with us. Last but not least, in all our programs and training services in ZIGURAT, what we use and how we actually build all this is through the lean learning methodology, which means learning what's essential, applying it immediately, getting real-time feedback, and repeating the circle until skills are fully absorbed. So this is how we actually work. And for the participants in this event that are coming from companies or from company owners or representatives, I would like to present also the solution that we have in the corporate department about the advanced training capabilities, which is actually a methodology, an exclusive training methodology through we design together the solution that you would like to receive as far as training. So we discover the need, we understand the skill gaps that exist, we define the solution, we design the solution together with you, we develop it, we deliver it, and then we come back to assess and make sure that you have received the ROI that is expected. That's all from ZIGURAT, and thank you very much for your attention. Now we can move to the Q&A part. Let me open the chat here so I can start reading the questions. So as far as where are you joining us from, I can see Budapest, Italy, Montreal, Madrid, Houston. Okay, so we're India, we're from all over the world. Very well. Very well. So I think I have a question here for Jordana. This is about your presentation. So now we don't use the Dynamo scripts anymore with EcoCraft. Is there any chance to combine it not only with materials, but with some different properties, or any plans for that? Jordana, you have to enable your microphone as well.
Okay. Hi. The first question, I would say no. We left the Dynamo script behind and we moved completely with the plugin for EcoCraft. And the reason is the user prefers plugins than dealing with Dynamo because they already have some traumas with Dynamo, trying the best. Second, I'm not sure if I really got the question, but what Hatem said at the end, we know that the industry needs cost, and our next goal with EcoCraft is to bring cost, not just carbon, but cost of these materials. And the problem has been the data. It's hard to find this data about cost and to keep it updated. So that's the challenge, but 2050 Materials already is working in bringing data about cost. And We have many plans to move forward, other things that we want to bring, but since you can connect, if you have the data, you can bring this data into your Revit module.
Very well. Thank you for the answer, Jordana. There are no more questions for now, but for the people that have missed today's event, they will be able to watch it recorded. If there are any questions, feel free to contact us. And at this point, I would like to thank you all. Thank you, Jordana, Hatem, and Beatriz from Autodesk, and Jordana from WSP that have participated today and have shared these valuable insights with us. Also, I would like to extend a big thank you to Nicolas Cascon that actually made this event reality by introducing us to Beatriz and planning all this. And of course, thank you all you that have joined us today. Let's stay connected. Be sure not to miss our upcoming events. Let us know if you would like to see similar thematics. And until then, stay curious, stay connected, and good luck. Thank you all.